Hi, welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly, and this channel is all about print on demand and Etsy. So if that is a subject that you are interested in, please hit like and subscribe and stick around. So 5 years ago, I knew absolutely nothing about Etsy. I had no business background, no marketing degree, no graphic design experience. Honestly, I barely knew what print on demand even was. Fast forward 5 years, and I have built an Etsy shop with hundreds of listings, reviewed dozens of or subscriber shops, made thousands of sales, and made plenty of mistakes, and spent way too many hours staring at Etsy analytics, wondering what in the world the algorithm was doing. Looking back, there are a few things that I thought mattered that really didn't. And there are a few things that I almost ignored that turned out to make all the difference. So today, I wanted to share what actually matters after 5 years of selling on Etsy. If I could go back and teach beginner Kelly what to focus on, this is what I would actually tell her. Before we jump in, I wanted to point out something important. This isn't to say that this is the only way to succeed on Etsy. There are people making six figures selling jewelry, others selling SVGs, some are selling digital planners, some are selling print on demand. This is simply what I've learned from building my own business and reviewing a lot of subscribers' Etsy shops. So lesson one, products matter more than SEO. And this one can surprise people. When I started, I thought SEO was everything. I'd spend an hour writing titles, researching keywords, moving words around, adding commas, removing commas, changing coastal rug to rug coastal. Like somehow Etsy was going to say, oh, that's the keyword she was missing. SEO is important, but SEO gets people to click. The product is what people actually buy. And if the product isn't competitive, SEO won't save it. Lesson two, good mockups sell products. And now this is super important. I've become almost obsessed with mockups. Not because they look pretty, but because they answer a question. What would this look like in my home, for example? One thing I constantly mention in my shop reviews is that people don't buy products. They buy a vision. They buy a cozy patio. They buy a beautiful nursery. They buy a relaxing bedroom, a stylish office. You're not selling a pillow. You're selling the feeling that pillow creates. And I wanted to kind of show you guys what I mean by mock-ups when I first started. So I made a little comparison card, and this is kind of funny. But you can see here, these are some of my real mock-ups from over the years. So when I first started, I made mock-ups like this, which was just what, Printful put out, or Printify, or whatever the main mock-up they made was. You can see it's kind of crappy. So if you're using the store mock-ups, you probably don't want to do that. I mean, you can also see the designs too. So these were my earlier designs, pretty blah. Then I tried making my own mock-ups. So I made this on Canva, trying to put down jeans and a shirt and put a design over it. It was an attempt, but it wasn't a very good outcome. Then I actually went ahead and put some money into buying mock-ups, and I bought this mock-up, which was definitely okay, certainly better than the others, but still not really great. And as you can see, my designs got a little more involved, but not necessarily good, right? Then I tried making it fancier. So for like Halloween, I started putting in little decorations like the pumpkins and everything. Again, a little bit better, but still not great. And the designs got even more complicated, but again, not necessarily good. Fast forward more to now, and you can see what would be like my current mock-ups. So a much cleaner, simpler, more Etsy feeling mock-up, right? I have branding on it. I list the color. The design is much larger and clearer. This one, again, a lifestyle mock-up, which just looks a lot better than this one. And so you can see how over the years, you start to get better and better and better. And that is what it is like when you build a business. You're just kind of going on experience and just hopefully making improvements as you go. Okay, so anyways, lesson 3: more listings matter. I know nobody wants to hear this. Everyone wants like that one viral listing, but it usually doesn't happen. In my own shop, about 8% of my listings sell consistently, 80% sell occasionally, and the remaining 84%, not much happens. And that's okay, because the winning listing makes the majority of my income. The lesson: you need enough listings for Etsy to find your winners. Lesson 4: stop guessing. One of the biggest mistakes I made was trying to predict what customers wanted. Now I let the data decide. The market is smarter than I am. And if something starts selling, I make more versions of it. Different colors, different styles, different products. Your customers will tell you what they want. You just have to listen to them. Lesson 5: branding builds trust. One thing that I definitely did not appreciate early on was consistency. Consistent colors, consistent mock-ups, consistent information cards, consistent style. When a buyer clicks around your shop, it should feel like everything belongs together. Now, I see this in a lot of shop reviews. One listing will look professional and the next looks homemade or horrible. And then the next uses completely different fonts and the next uses completely different colors. It's a small thing, but consistency builds trust, and trust matters when you're building an Etsy shop. So you want to find a system. So every listing shouldn't look like its own individual thing. Instead, you find one system and you apply it to every single listing. Lesson 6: customer service is marketing. And this one took me years as well. Every customer interaction is marketing. Every message, every delay, every problem. How you respond determines whether somebody leaves you a 5-star review or tells everybody never to buy from you again. Ironically, some of my happiest customers started off as my angriest customers, because problems happen, but people have to remember how you handled them. Nobody leaves a review saying, "My package arrived exactly on time." But they'll absolutely write a novel if it is one day late. Now, lesson 7: AI changed everything. Not because it replaces me, but because it makes me faster. It helps me brainstorm. It helps me write rough drafts. It helps me organize information, improve listings, respond to customers, generate ideas. It's like hiring an assistant who never sleeps and occasionally says something completely ridiculous, so I still proofread. But that's okay. Lesson 8: shop reviews change my perspective. One of the biggest things I've done recently is reviewing subscriber shops. Now, patterns appear when I'm doing this. The same mistakes, the same opportunities, the same questions. It also reminds me I'm not the only one trying to figure this out. We're all learning, and that's okay. Lesson 9: perfection is expensive. I spent so much time trying to make things perfect, the perfect listing, the perfect mock-up, the perfect title, the perfect design. Meanwhile, people with imperfect shops were making sales. So you need to launch, improve, repeat. This is how businesses grow. There is a book that I read called Ready, Fire, Aim. And essentially, it is how it sounds. Some people will spend so long aiming that they will never bother to fire. You need to fire and then aim. Lesson 10, and this is the biggest thing that actually matters. I had to narrow down everything into one lesson. This is it. Keep showing up. Seriously, 5 years ago, I had no idea what I was doing. Some designs failed, some products failed, some ideas completely flopped. If I'd quit after the first bad month or the first bad year, none of this would have happened. Consistency beats talent more often than people realize. One of the reasons I decided to create my Etsy workbook is because I realized I'd spent 5 years learning these lessons the hard way. And instead of making everyone else figure it out through trial and error, I wanted to organize everything I learned into one place with checklists, worksheets, and examples. So if that is something that you're interested in, I'm going to leave a link in the comment below, in the description below this video. Anyways, if you're just getting started, don't feel like you're behind. Everyone has to start somewhere. So focus on one thing at a time. Do not compare your beginning to someone else's 5th year, okay? Because one day, hopefully 5 years from now, you'll make a video like this and realize just how much you've learned and how much you've grown. So if you've been selling on Etsy for a while, I'd love to know, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned? Leave a comment below. I read every single comment. And thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, again, drop those in the comment section below. I do try to get back to everybody as quickly as I can. I am still doing shop reviews. My email has changed, so the link to my email is still in the description below every video, but now it is kelly@therapydesigns.net. So if you want to message me with anything, you can, or give me a link to your shop. I'll get you added to my list. Otherwise, I hope you guys are doing really well, and I do hope to see you guys again. That's it for today's video. If you found that useful and would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.